Everything's recording.
All right, I'm going to, time is now 6:30 p.m. I'm going to call to order the regular meeting of the Tilton Planning Board for Tuesday, February 14th, 2017. I'll start it by saying Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. And some people feel very inconsiderate for us to have a meeting on tonight, but we have to follow the schedule. So, first,
Upstairs.
upstairs. The first order of business is continuation on the compliance hearing for Mr. Cropsey at Riverfront Place. And so we have to make a motion and pass it to continue that.
Jake Fitzcaster on Tuesday night.
Right, yeah, he's
No one
requested
was
till
picking
the
up
2 weeks from now.
conversation on
2 weeks from now.
717.
How many times can
Just
someone
wanted to
continue
make sure I could get a message to the
Yeah,
officers.
I
We
don't
have
know
meetings in
of a
town
number
hall.
on that
Big
in
meetings
state law.
upstairs,
Catherine
the
mentioned
fire
something that there might be something in
People
Tilton's
park
rules
all
of
over Main Street
procedure.
parking lots. So make sure they
You know, this is a
park
compliance
it's
hearing, it's
done
not a
with
site plan review
Thanks, Chief.
case. It's clearly being continued for the sake of allowing continued work with the select board, so. But I don't know. Tim, do you know, have you ever heard anything about that?
I'm sorry.
That's all right, it's all right. He was just asking how many times the case could be continued, and I was saying, I'm not aware of anything in the state. You know, there's the 65-day limit for
Yeah.
cases, but that's, you know, that doesn't apply when it's the applicant who's waiving that essentially by requesting a continuation, so.
And
We might have something in our procedures.
Right, I was mentioning, yeah, I
because
was
it
mentioning
did-
the-
That came up once before.
Yeah, but
well, we can check on that.
we will, yeah.
We'll go on and continue this one for 2 weeks, which is what date?
Make a motion
28.
to continue.
All right, I'll second it. All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? So the 28th. All right. The next is a preliminary site plan conceptual consultation. It's a proposal to reconfigure parking at 120 Laconia Road in the Regional Commercial District. Would you like to?
Not us.
No, yeah,
Oh.
this is the, you know, this is a,
Oh, this
change
is,
use
this
review
is Tanger,
form, right.
Tanger, okay.
Oh.
So Dory, do you want to give us a little?
yeah, I mean, I don't know a whole lot other than what we have before us. The same gentleman who appeared before you guys, this body, to present the Five Guys project, Five Guys Starbucks project, contacted me. He sent in this plan that shows within the parking analysis area that surrounded by that dotted line,
Yeah.
there appears to be, well, they're requesting to put that parking right up against the facility. You see that in front of units 202 through 214. There's actual pull-in parking where you would not walk through any parking lot.
Yeah.
So Al and I, he said, what do we need to do to get this approved? Al and I looked it over. We looked through the change of use review form, looked at the fact that it almost everything there, we have the authority to say yes, go ahead with, except the last point on that change of use review sort of regulation, if you want to call it that, says that if there's any changes to the outside layout, then it needs to at least go before the planning board so that the planning board can determine whether it needs site plan review. So that's where we stand. This is essentially this is before you guys, and it's in the ball's in your court to make sort of a recommendation as to whether, a ruling as to whether this needs to come in for site plan review. He did fill out the form also, but it's not a ton of information. I think the plan really encompasses the bulk of what's to be decided upon.
And it's where the chocolate factory and
He said dress, yeah, kind of along that.
the dress barn and that area.
The shoe place was Bass.
Yeah,
It goes basically from Bass to Nike.
yeah. That's
Right.
what.
Yeah,
Because the Rocky Mountain is actually tucked in a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there still two-way traffic there, Dari, in between, or one?
I don't know. Let's see, he sent me an email indicating that all the lanes were compliant. In other words, he had looked at the zoning ordinance, looked at the travel lanes, so I guess,
He's the engineer who came here for
Yeah.
5 Guys.
yeah,
It seemed pretty good.
I don't know, if I do have his cell phone number, if the board wanted to compile a list of questions, I could call him and we could kind of maybe take a recess, or, you know,
That is
Again.
almost becoming a site plan.
what's that?
That almost becomes a site plan when we start.
I mean,
asking
yeah,
questions.
obviously, you know, detailed questions shouldn't be, it
Yeah.
shouldn't get too detailed because it hasn't been noticed, it's just conceptual.
I mean,
But
if
if
the
there were
question-
questions like that, I don't know, is this 1 or 2 lanes? I feel like, you know, if he were here, it would have been okay for him to answer that without going outside the.
If the question is whether or not this needs to be site planned, I think it does, because I think there's a real safety factor here with pedestrians. Anybody who's been in the Tangarout and knows that people are always taking shortcuts across, and right in there, when you drive through there, people are always just dropping
I know
off
this
into the
corner
road,
here.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
and now where's their fire lane?
Well,
Because that's been fire lane
that has been
prior.
violating. Has the fire district looked at that?
So, yeah, I want information
He's-
from them.
Al and I sent it along to Tim. I have not received comment from him, actually.
And
We,
it-
of course,
it
had
is-
a couple snow days thrown in here, so, I think communication's been bogged down a little
Yeah.
bit, but I don't believe he's responded yet.
Do these represent the actual spaces that are there now?
He-
This is completely refigured,
It's completely
the
refigured
entire
and,
parking lot.
well, almost all of that left side, like the sort of the center of it is not, but most of the islands on, so if you're looking here, if you're on the right side of each of these lanes, most of those islands have been changed.
This is reconfigured.
Mm.
So I would say that he does need to come in for site plan review.
I'd like to see an overlay of how it looks today versus with the addition of
We,
5 Guys and then
yeah.
what it's gonna look like.
I mean, that's something because of their last site plan, review application, we do have a plan showing the existing parking, but, you know, so I can print that now and you can look at that, or if you already know that you wanna have them come in for site plan review, that would probably be unnecessary at this
What's everybody
juncture.
else think?
I think it needs site plan review because there are questions we haven't heard from the fire department.
How does the majority of the board feel? Because until we hear from the fire department, we don't really have as to whether or not they've been out there and what they think. I
Yeah.
would like to at least go out and look at it before I,
I think it needs site plan review, and I think these need dimensions.
Yeah, I'm sure if he
Absolutely,
submits
yeah.
a site
I mean,
plan,
if
it'll
you
be.
look
Yeah.
at this, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a total reconfiguration if you really study it. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, because there's parking spaces
and I think
in the
he's
middle.
doing it for safety reasons, isn't he?
I don't know, I think it might actually be for marketing
Right.
reasons, to make the
Okay.
facility more user-friendly.
All right,
Who knows, maybe it's even to attract a particular, store
yeah,
that wouldn't come in without them doing that, I can't say for sure.
okay. All right, does everybody feel that they want him to come in for a site plan then?
I think it's a safe
Okay.
bet.
Maybe we should do a motion since you're
Well, I'm
acting on
going
that.
to, but I was
Okay.
just going to
All
say,
right, all right.
do you think that you can get in touch with Tim before our next meeting?
Oh, yeah, I assume so. I mean, he usually responds quickly.
Well, there's a public hearing tonight, so he may have been involved in collecting things from
Hmm,
that.
yeah.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to have him come in for a site plan review, for, case number 17-01.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So you will notify him, and we will set it up for the next planning board meeting.
Or, Potentially, he's coming from New York, so he may not, if he's not available, yeah, for an upcoming. Yeah.
Okay, you won't.
Sorry, could you pull out whatever we have? I know we have one from the last, but we've had a couple of these, like when, Old Navy went in,
Oh, yeah,
parking layouts.
Yeah.
Could you pull as many out as you can so we can kind of see what has transpired from the original layout?
yeah.
I'm pretty sure the parking spaces are
Ms.
shown.
Tilton had requested that one time, so I think I have.
I go out to that area all the time, but I can't.
I don't fit anywhere,
I drove through it and I just.
not even with my smaller truck. I don't fit.
This one is pulling back and right into that.
Okay, now,
It
the,
doesn't have it.
so you're gonna take care of that?
I'll take it.
All right, all right. The next, we have some guests here tonight who's coming in with a preliminary conceptual in terms of putting some storage in next to Dollar General, so I'll turn it over to you.
Good evening. My name is Tim Bernier, TF Bernier Incorporated. I'm here with Mark Phillips, who is looking to do this project. This is a very traditional rental storage facility. This is Mark does quite a few of these. This is one that he is just finishing up in Dover, just to give you a picture of what the buildings look like and how this all works, and pass that around and get an idea. The site's located on West Main, 637 West Main. You have Dollar General here. This is Pond Auto Parts. There's a common access way that was created when Dollar General went in. We're going to share. This is existing parking down here that's used. There's a car seat that's in here for that. So there's going to be a main driveway that goes up through. 11 buildings and an office building. This will have an employee there that runs at the office for rental facilities. The buildings range in size from 4,000 square feet to 10,000 square feet. The site is kind of goes from the back to the front, grade-wise, but relatively flat. We found a little wetland here in the middle. This is all very industrial. This is Hannaford's. You see, this is the edge of the asphalt for Hannaford. So it's a very industrialized area. They have these pole lights, and so it's really a busy area. And this just happens to be right in the middle of the field. It's not standing water, but it's very close to the surface. Farmers have, over the years, this is a man-made ditch that runs all the way down to this culvert that's been there a very long time. And this is a man-made ditch that was put in at some point. There's another man-made ditch over here that doesn't do anything. The ditch is not jurisdictional, but the wetland system was, so right in the middle of the project. And we're kind of curious about the board's feelings about it, and if they have any concerns. The site will be fenced with a black chain link fence around it for security purposes. The buildings, all of the lighting will be down-facing lights on the building, dark sky compliant lighting. The pretty standard use. They are structures with foundations.
You'll make consideration of the residential property
Yeah,
to
this
the
is
east of it? That's
this is all
Jensen's.
Jensen's Park here. There is a little bit of wood line left, but I'm going to take a look at that. See, I was sitting in my truck thinking, what are they going to ask me? I thought of that very same thing, especially with the lighting. But
The lighting and-
lighting's very minimal. But we'll
Hours of
check it.
operation.
And hours of operation, I would think, would be a consideration too.
Yeah, what do you normally do for hours of?
Well, people can come and go as they please, but in reality, it's a daylight operation, and people don't come in there at night to find something through the storage locker, because there's no electrical outlet or lights inside the storage units. That way nobody can grow plants or work on their cars or whatever.
Smart move, I just caught on to
Yeah.
that.
And then the next question I was asking, well, where's your dumpster? And the question of that, the answer to that is we don't have one, because we've got like all these little storage units we put a trash barrel in one of those, and so any debris around the property goes in there out of sight, because we don't want tenants coming in here thinking they can just throw everything they want in the dumpster, so there's no dumpster on the property.
We have a sewer manhole connection down here. We have, this is gonna require an AOT permit, so we're over the 100,000 square feet. The lot is 6.7 acres. We're at 61% with what you see there, lot coverage, which includes a lot of, we're actually removing, this is the existing of the pavement. I don't know if you remember back to Dollar General, but this essentially was all paved. And Dollar General took out a little bit, we're gonna take out a little bit more and create more of a road going up and in. Sort of shaping that, but we're still hovering around that 61%, 75% is maximum, so we're below that. But we need areas, this is gonna be a infiltration pond, because the new AOT rules, it's not about detention anymore, it's about recharging the groundwater table. So, we're gonna need areas for that, so we were thinking of it here, and obviously snow storage as well. One thing I do wanna talk to the board about is, we're not building anything in the buffer, but in order to get this to pitch, these buildings really like to be flat. And perfectly flat is great for building buildings, terrible for managing stormwater. So, we're trying to create this flat, and I impeded a little bit with my fill extension into the wetland buffer here. We could, just these little corners, it's 319 square feet. And I could cut this building off and add here and make this do all kinds of crazy stuff, but this wetland has like no functions of values. It's right in the middle of a developed area.
Oh, the carnival used to be there.
Yeah.
It is. That's
Yeah.
how it was, yeah.
What are you gonna do with the rain runoff from the tops of those buildings?
Everything's gonna get collected. Right now, we have a pond in here and a pond here and one here.
So it's gonna sheet off to the ground, to the asphalt or whatever?
Yeah, everything's
So there's
sheets.
no controlling that, drainage
bituminous-
pipes or anything?
Bituminous curb. Right now, we do have a few catch basins. We're looking at, because it's very flat between the buildings, whether or not a catch basin is a better solution, or, this runoff, I think we're probably gonna end up with catch basins in here, just because we don't want this runoff to have to go through between these two buildings. Not that it wouldn't be okay, but we're looking at it. We just started looking at that stuff. I really,
Remember, even though this says site plan, this isn't a site plan, this is a conceptual.
right.
Well,
But-
these are things they're gonna have to
I know,
consider,
but he-
that's what we're talking about, and
Yeah, we're
you
still,
know, you've been here enough to know that that's an issue,
Yeah.
drainage.
drainage, oh yeah, and with the AOT, that's huge. I mean, that's exactly what they're looking at, and we have a ton of criteria we have to meet with those folks. So we're gonna be, I just finished this, and now we're checking to see if we can meet their infiltration requirements, with this, so we haven't
Any
done that.
possibility for, I don't want to say landscaping, but any type of foliage or?
Well, I haven't even looked at that. Would you have any thoughts for?
Well,
Especially in the front part?
yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, we could do the slats and and the chain link fence on the Hannaford side if you wanted to, or we could have some kind of a vegetative border there too. Either one.
Probably, I don't know,
Just put
most
on
of your
some-
visibility, I mean, this is gonna be pretty open because this is just one giant asphalt parking lot.
Yeah.
So your visibility is gonna be pretty good. I mean, we could put a specimen tree. I kinda, there's an island that sort of defaults there. We might be able to do something.
Sure.
I mean, maybe from the Route 3 point of view, people looking over, I mean, I think I love these storage barns. New England. And in another world, I've built a lot of foundations for these, but these are New England, they're not.
I wish I had been smart enough to think about doing that a long time ago.
But, so for people driving by Route 3, it'd be nice if they looked over instead of just seeing more commercialized industrial, if they saw a little beauty with it.
Yep.
So whatever you Whatever you can come up with to present would be.
Well, this, the old, this is an auto body garage.
It's a really stark looking area now. I mean, there's nothing there except signs that say ad for sale. You know,
We like to put the sign in a planter base, so you at least have that as
Yeah.
a focal point with,
Be
you know,
nice.
green, something or other.
Didn't think about landscaping, but we will.
Isn't there a storage facility on the other side of Hannibal?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
with the
Nice.
colonial house and
That's
that's a
Franklin.
very
Like
nice,
way in.
yeah, way in.
Jean went, but that's Franklin.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, is it an advantage to Jensen's right next door? Is that, do you get business for these, from mobile home parks?
Maybe to some extent, depending on what, usually those folks have a typical shed, which is, they're all basically the same, like 8 by 10 or whatever, but if they have more stuff, then they have to go elsewhere to store that.
This would be pretty handy.
When you're looking at the area between this and Jensen's, you also might want to look at a buffer kind of.
There's
I don't
already a
know how
tree line
thick-
there.
I don't know
There is a tree line there.
if it's, no, it doesn't look like pine, does it? Looks like deciduous. But it is kind of thin down at the bottom. So I mean, look at it with the point of view of buffering it from those residential properties, so we're
right
not
now-
having a negative impact on the value.
Be pretty easy because the property line is the tree line now, so we'll know, we're not gonna be cutting any trees
It
because
looks
there
like
are no
it
trees.
thins off as you get down to
Yeah, it
the
does.
side.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chunk of trees in here, I know, but I think as it comes up in here, there's some, it's pretty thin. And this actually, right here, is the lawn. That's as close as we get. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut pretty good here, so they're gonna probably look over the tops of the building. So that didn't concern me as much.
I mean, they're looking at it.
I was thinking more
Pretty
in here,
shady block
especially
right now, but,
if we put lights on these ends of the buildings, we just look and see how thick those trees are.
yeah, thank you.
And the industry stats, if you will, say there's 5 to 7 cars per day per 100 units. So even if this was like 500 units, it'd be like 35 cars a day. So there's no peak hours. People come and go at their leisure, so there's never any time where there's a rush hour or whatever, so it's very little traffic. And even if you had a big truck, there's plenty of, in the throat or the tug coming in, plenty of pull-off space. So he's not out in the street trying to get in, that's what I like about this lot. It's got the frontage for, defined frontage, but it's got this long boulevard to get in there, so you can have sometimes you might have a U-Haul truck and he wants to go out and find out, what's the story, and he's not blocking the aisles by doing that.
When you present this to us, you'll have dimensions for the width of those alleyways and all that stuff.
Yeah, we
Is
will
it all
need
two-way traffic through there?
yeah, this is 24 feet, just to give you some idea, 25 between the buildings, so there's plenty of room for 2 cars to go by.
That's more than most of them have too.
Yeah, that's pretty comfortable, 25
And
feet.
and 30 on the ends for turning, usually, so.
Yeah.
We will need to amend get a new state permit because we're changing the use of that intersection. Not only they knew, I remember going through this with them for Dollar General, and Paul Gaudet owns this and also owned the building that Dollar General was built on, sold to them. So he was very clear, we were very clear with the state, look, don't forget, whatever we do, let's make sure we plan ahead so we don't have to rebuild this thing again.
Yeah.
In a little bit, so hopefully they won't, but you never know, they could say, oh, well, we want a traffic light, but they can't include a traffic light, so they're not gonna say it.
And Hannaford still won't give you any,
No, they are really, the state really should have required that, without putting that light in. They
Yeah.
should have said you gotta create an access point in there, but it just made sense, I don't know what they were thinking.
yeah,
Yeah, bring everybody out to the light.
okay.
So this area here is essentially regrading in that portion of the wetland, is that right?
Right, the fill extension from the edge of the driveway just encroaches a little bit in the buffer. So
Okay.
the regulations, I believe, require, they talk about a conditional use permit?
That, I was just looking at that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, this is, the wetlands this is kind of new to us. It was adopted just a year ago about, and
Okay.
so wanted to grab it and make sure before I opened my mouth, but that's, you know, permitted uses, it lists, these uses will not involve filling, dredging, and draining of the wetlands, so it doesn't fall under the permitted uses.
Correct.
But it doesn't seem to fall under the prohibited uses, and then when you get to conditional uses, it talks about uses in 14.4 permitted uses, essentially, and points you to the conditional uses, saying if you wanna, if it's not allowed in here, but it's not prohibited in here, you kind of wind up there, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I got to, so we will be asked for conditional use permit. I went through the conditions for conditional use, and it really seemed to boil down to me that we're not disrupting the functions and values of the wetland, which this really doesn't have any other than flood retention, which we're not disturbing at all. We're going to manage all of our own stormwater, so it's not going to be disturbed that way. You know, it's like wetlands sort of flow and buildings are all square. So we're giving a lot more buffer up here, but we couldn't maintain this. So the wetland's going to have a lot more buffer in some areas, and we're going to cut it a little bit. But we'll put that together as part of our application for conditional. We'll add a conditional use request for that. Does anybody immediately see any issues with that? Or we could build a retaining wall.
I don't think it's a
like
primary
guardrail.
wetland.
No, not special, but yeah.
What was that little fish up in Washington?
That stopped it.
So everybody seems like a reasonable request.
Just don't have a yellow sign like Dollar General.
Will it be a storage one?
Uh,
Or is that like a
Well,
franchise?
no, that's a huge, I had to do we're 500 feet back from the road, yes, we had to have a big barn to capture your eye, and the second floor is a residence, so we're not worried about that, just gonna be a small office
I
building.
like the barn.
I like the barn too, you can't build it, you can put windows there.
It's a classic 40 by 60 barn, it's just, and I've got solar panels on the south, so,
Build a miniature one.
and they look great.
What you were talking about doesn't sound like it's gonna be attractive, the office building?
I'm sorry?
The office buildings.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna take steps a little power, all the lighting's LEDs, and it's,
Will the office be manned,
yes, yeah.
what, daylight out, daytime out?
Typically 9 to 5, and Saturday, part-time. At least until we, get it full, and then we'll see what happens after that.
All right, thank you.
Great, thank you.
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I'm on the planning board of Norrington, and we have a meeting tonight down there, so I'm up here instead.
Tell Jerry I said hi.
It's like Rotary, you get credit for another meeting.
Thanks.
See what you need.
Thank you.
They're building on your property? All right,
Then I'd have to come again.
it's Valentine's Day, so I'm gonna wrap this up quickly. We'll postpone our workshop until, no, I've got a couple of things. All right, I just thought, it is Valentine's, and Judy's got a red Valentine outfit on, so I don't want to delay her.
Yeah.
Two pieces of correspondence. This is kind of a shocker. It's a withdrawal of application to DES, alteration of terrain permit, and it's for the global gas station.
Across from Lowe's?
They withdrew their application.
Their alteration of term, I mean, that could mean a number of things.
Yeah.
It could-
Well,
We thought it was
places
still
been
kind
for
of,
sale.
But
well, I know they hadn't had the closing.
if they're not changing,
It could mean a number of things, including they're walking
oh yeah,
away.
it could be including me walking away.
Yeah.
It's just interesting, we haven't heard anything and
Well, they
then,
haven't made a move on the site either. Unless for
well,
sale
and
sign's still
also
up.
I checked with, the last time I was out there, I checked with one of the Gaudettes and I was told, gee, yeah, I think the closing's this week or something. So as of like a month ago, they hadn't even closed on the property yet, which is, probably explains why we haven't seen any movement, but I just thought that was interesting. The other one has to do with the departments, from the Department of Transportation, and it's on their project for putting in the intersection out on, by Silver Lake Road. And they have a tentative date for the project to advertise it May 16, 2017, so I just wanted to let you know that.
They came, we put in years ago, 2 years ago, for a safety issue. It's dangerous intersections,
Very
quite a few accidents there. I think it's like when they had a number of proposals. The least expensive one is to realign Silver Lake Road, Route 3, and that's what they're gonna do. But it isn't gonna change the, amount of traffic that comes through there, the fact that there's that little hill and the way that cars enter and exit. I still call it the Mohawk, the store there. So,
Smoke and barley.
smoke and barley.
The Mohawk, is that what you call it?
So years ago, Robert Davis used to own that store until he moved his house.
The other thing is, you have a handout on the conservation subdivision, and because we're delaying our workshop until the next time we meet, might want to take this and study it, so we'll be prepared to discuss it in more detail.
Can I just quick, yeah, just, this is from, as I often do, this is from the DES Innovative Land Use Techniques. Generally, I feel like this is a good starting point when we embark on a project. The one thing, I think the word subdivision is kind of confusing, and I, the way we've addressed through our zoning amendment, just to remind everybody, is that they're eliminating the requirement of subdivision in instances of cluster development. So just don't let that mislead you. The purpose of this chapter is to sort of get our minds going in the direction of what the benefits of cluster development, what developments are. And right on the first page of this, and that's the purpose. I said is that some of the details about subdivide or non-subdivide, some of this is going to be irrelevant to us. Again, because we're not requiring subdivision for cluster development, it would make sense for us to move those regulations out of subdivision and into site plan review, which is going to be, required for cluster development. So, thank you. That's it. I'm done.
All right. And, our secretary, who does such wonderful notes,
Yes.
well, our secretary would appreciate it if we would wait until the next meeting to approve or disapprove the minutes from the last meeting. What happened, there was, they were done, but there were some amendments made to them, and once the amendments were made, the secretary wasn't able to locate them in the computer tonight before.
We have a 90-day compliant version of the minutes, and I can't find the more detailed version. I'm sorry.
So we'll have them at the next meeting, if that's all right with everybody.
Yeah.
So now I'll entertain a motion to do what we like to do best.
Drink beer?
Drink beer.
Yeah, drink beer.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Well, this is good stuff.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Go that way and sin no more. Did you really want this?
No, Jules just said that.
Oh,
I see if you can, I'm just curious.
it's under. I wish we
It's just
put-
a neat design.
Isn't it?
People for a second.
And I wasn't kidding when I said I wished I had thought about
You know, we
storing
can make that a requirement, look what we did with Walmart.
My father said that years ago, so.
what the,
No problem.